Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and today we will be discussing problems from the Codechef Starters 146. Today we will be discussing a question called as bouncing ball from the recent Codechef Starters 146. Okay, now let us try to understand the question. But before moving forward, if you want to understand this question in detail, you need to know one principle, is that Newton's third law. For every reaction, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, let us see the question. So basically, this question says that you have an array of n elements, and at each index you can have two numbers. Okay, you can have either a zero or either a positive number. If you have a zero, what does that mean is you have an empty ground. Okay, you have an empty ground. If you have a positive number, it means you are having a ball which has a height of array of height, So now we will try to change the question a little bit. Instead of ball, we will go with building. Okay, so let us rewrite the question. If you have a positive number, you are having a building of these many number of floors, which has array of 5 floors. Okay, so if you have a zero, it is nothing but an empty ground. If you have a positive number, at that index you are having a building of array of 5 number of floors. Done? Understood? So the question is you can place a ball on an empty ground, that is, choose any index I on the given array where array of I should be 0, because you can place this ball only on the empty ground. Okay, now you have two choices. Okay, once you go, let us assume here I have an empty ground. Okay, then here I have two options. One is I can push or I can throw this ball onto the right side, or I can throw this ball to the left side. I have two choices here. Okay, either I can throw this ball to the right side or throw this ball to the left side. Okay, so once I throw this ball to the right side, let's say here I have a building. Okay, here I have a building of 4 floors. Okay, now I throw this ball to the right side, it touches or it hits this building, right? Once this ball hits this building, the number of floors in this building decreases by 1. Okay, now according to Newton's third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, right? Which means once this ball touches this building, this ball again goes back to the left side, right? Now assume there is one more building here. Okay, now this ball touches this building or hits this building, which means the number of floors of this building decreases by 1. Now again it goes to the right side. It decreases this building by 1. Now again it goes to the left side. It decreases this building floors by 1. Now again it goes to the right side. It decreases this building number of floors by 1. Now again it goes to the right side. Now since this number became 0, which means the entire building is demolished, which means entirely removed. Now where will this building go? It will simply go out of the box, right? So that's it. This is the question. Okay, you have an empty place. You have two options at each empty place. Either you can push this ball to the right side or to the left side. Okay, once this ball touches to any one of the building, it goes to the left side. Okay, because equal and opposite reaction. Now let us see what the question is. So this is what the overall principle of this question. So, and then bounces back in the opposite direction. If the ball height reaches 0, it becomes an empty ground. The ball continues to move until it goes out of the bounds. Okay, determine the number of ways to place and push the ball so that all the walls are destroyed, all the buildings are destroyed. Two ways are considered different if either starting index of the ball or the direction of the push is different. We will discuss this. Okay, so let us see the input format. So at each, in the first line, we are having t number of test cases, And in each test case we are having the size of the given array, and after n you are having an array of n elements. Okay, for output format, for each test case you need to simply print a new line single integer which represents the number of ways these walls can be destroyed. Okay, now let us understand this with the help of a simple example. First one is 1002. Okay, so first one is 1002, right? So in how many ways can I destroy these two buildings? So here I have a building which has one floor, here I have a building which has two floors. Okay, now how many empty grounds do I have? I have two empty grounds, right? So here he mentioned the answer as 2. Let us see how the answer is 2. Okay, what I will do is I will place a ball here and I will push to the right side. Okay, it hits this building, right? This building floors will get decremented by 1, and then the ball goes to the left side, and then it hits this building, then this building floors will decremented by 1. Now again the ball goes to the right side. Since this is 1, it becomes 0, and the ball goes to the left side. And here we have a 0, here we have a 0, and here we have a 0. Hence the ball goes outside of the bounds, right? Now check. Did I destroyed all the buildings? Yes, we have destroyed all the buildings. Hence this is one way. So the number of ways is 1. But the answer is 2, right? How is it 2? Let us see the second one. Now here if I place a ball here, I have started to the right side direction in the previous one. Now let me move to the left side. If I throw the ball to the left side, this ball gets hit to this building, hence this decrements by 1, and the ball goes to the right side, hence decrements by 1, and the ball goes to the left side and to the out of the bounds, because there is no building here, right? So by this what you understand? Exactly, when you are at this index, when you are at this position, you cannot throw a ball to the left side because it goes out of the bounds. And if it goes out of the bounds and you have still one building to destroy, which means this is an invalid way. Then what is the valid way? From this index, I will place a ball here, I will throw this ball to the right side, it hits this building, decrements the floors by 1, and again ball goes to the left side, it hits this building, number of floors becomes 0, building is destroyed, and the ball goes to the right side, this building gets hit and decrements by 1. Now again it goes to the left side all the way to the out of the bounds. Now did I destroy all the buildings? Yes, 0, 0, 0, 0. Hence we have destroyed all the buildings. So what is the number of ways? 2 ways, right? So for the first test case, did we got 2? Yes. Now let us see the second one, which is 1, 1, 0, 1 and 1. Let us see. Since there is only one ground, I will place my ball here. Okay, now I will throw it to the right side. This becomes 0. Now the ball goes to the left side. This becomes 0. Now again the ball goes to the right side. This becomes 0. Now the ball goes to the left side. This becomes 0. Now the ball goes out of the bounds. This is one way, right? Now let us see the second one. Previously I went to the right side, right? Now I will go to the left side. Okay, this becomes 0, I will go to the left side. This becomes 0, I will go to the right side. This becomes 0, I will go to the left side. Now I will go to the right side. This becomes 0. Now I will go all the way to the out of the box. Did I destroy all the buildings? Yes. What is the answer here? 2. Exactly. Okay, just a second. Okay, hence I got my answer as 2. Now let us see the third one, which is 24050. Because till now we are dealing with binary. Now let us go with this 240. What is the next one? 50. I will start my ball at this empty ground. I will go to the left. This will be decremented by 1. Now I will go to the right. This will be decremented by 1. Now again left, decremented by 1. Now again right, decremented by 1. Again left, decremented by 1. Again right, decremented by 1. Again left, decremented by 1. Now again right, decremented by 1. Now what will happen? It will go to the left again. Now it will go to this building, decremented by 1. Now I will go to the right, all the way to the out of the bounds, which should not happen, right? So this is an invalid move, which means I will explain. Which means from this index I cannot start to the right side. Okay. Now let us see the left side. Okay. Now let us see the left side. I will go to the left. This will become 3. This will become 4. This will become 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and then 0, and then 1, and then here it becomes 1. I will go to the right side, 0, and then this 1 becomes 0. Now did I destroy all the buildings? Yes. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So my answer is 1 for now. Is there any other way that I can destroy all the buildings? Let us see. So from here we went to the right side, we went to the left side. Both of them are done. One is invalid and one is valid. That is what we got till now. And we have one more empty ground. Can I throw my ball to the right side? No, because it is an empty ground. I cannot throw my ball to the right side, right? Can I throw my ball to the left side? If you throw the ball to the left side, let's assume here we have a building and it hits the building, decrements by 1, and it will go to the out of the box again. This is an invalid. So by this, what you understood? If you are throwing a ball from the end points, then you can only destroy all the buildings if and only if there is only one here. For example, you can use this test case, or let's assume 0. So from here, only focus on these two indices, which is the end points, this 0 and this 0. So from here, you can destroy this building by throwing on to the left side. And from here, you can destroy this building by throwing the ball to the right side. This is possible only if this value is 1 and there is only one element in between these n-2 elements. Okay. Now, you have understood the question. And this is some big test case. We will discuss this on the code. Okay. So that's it, the question. So you have an empty ground. You have two choices, either to throw the ball to the right side or either to throw this ball to the left side. You just need to print the number of ways that you can destroy all these buildings. Okay. So that is the question. So what is the logic, guys, here? Like, do you think of any approach here? One approach that you can think of is, after taking the input, you can call a function. After taking the input, you can simply iterate on the given array. Whenever you found a 0, call a function which will do the same process, which is go to the right side, found a positive value, decremented by 1. Go to the left side, found a positive value, decremented by 1. You can do that. But if you see the constraint, it is 10 to the power of 5. N is 10 to the power of 5 and T is 10 to the power of 4, which is, if you use that logic, you will definitely get TLE. That is, you will get TLE. That is not possible. So we need to think of an approach. What is that approach here? Now let me ask you one question. Just a second. Okay. Now let me give you a new test case, or an existing test case is also fine. Now let's say I have something like 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay. Okay, in this only I will give you multiple test cases. I want you to tell me whether it is possible to destroy all the buildings or not. So in the first test case, which is we have only one empty ground and we have decided to throw the ball onto the right side. This becomes 0, you will go to the left. This becomes 0, you will go to the right. This becomes 0, you will go to the left. This becomes 0, and now you will go to the right, all the way to the out of the box. This is not possible, right? Now for these two test cases, you will do the same thing. You will throw the ball to the left. This becomes 0. Now this becomes 0. Now this becomes 0. Now this becomes 0. Okay, here it is working and here it is not working. If I throw the ball to the right side. Now if I apply the same thing on the third test case by throwing the ball to the right side, will it work? This becomes 0. Now this becomes 0. Now this becomes 0. And now we all the way to the out of the box. So if I throw the ball to the right side, this one is not working, this one is working, and this one is not working. Now let us see by throwing the ball to the left side. By throwing the ball to the left side, will it work or not? Let me get rid of this. Okay. Now from here I throw the ball to the right side. This becomes 0, this becomes 0, this becomes 0, this becomes 0, and then this becomes 0, right? And from here this becomes 0, this becomes 0, this becomes 0, this becomes 0. And if I throw the ball to the left side, 0, 0, all the way to the out of the box. So here, if I throw the ball onto the left side, it is possible. But if I throw the ball to the right side, for this test case, it is not possible. And here it is possible, and here it is not possible. So, do you see anything here? Do you observe anything here? Since we have only 1 0, let me place the empty ground here. What is the sum of these three buildings? Exactly, we have one building with one floor, one building with one floor, one building with one floor. So total we have 3 floors. What about onto the right side? 2 floors, right? And we have a 0, left, right. We have a 0, 1, and then 3. So what do you observe here? What do you observe? So this is an empty ground, right? And these are the number of buildings sum we have on the left side, and these are the number of buildings sum we have on the right side, right? So what is the difference here? What is the difference? What is the absolute difference between 3 and 2? 1. What is the absolute difference between 2 and 2? 0. What is the absolute difference between 1 and 3? 1 and 3 is 2. So do you observe anything from here? So the reason why it is not, so from here if I throw the ball to the right side, do you understand why it is not working? Because this becomes 1, right? And then this becomes 2, and then this becomes 0. At any point of time, we are not making the buildings sum equal. That is why it is not working when I throw the ball onto the right side. But here, if I throw the ball onto the left side, what will happen? If I throw the ball onto the left side, what will happen? This building floors will decremented by 1. Now, see what they are having. They are having an equal number of floors of both the buildings, right? Now, what will happen? The same thing, which is you will decrease this, decrease this, decrease this, decrease this. Both of the operations will happen simultaneously, right? So at each index, you can from each index you can destroy all, not each index, from each empty ground you can destroy all the buildings if and only if the difference, this is the difference, if and only if the difference is less than or equal to 1. if and only if the difference is less than or equal to 1. If we are having one difference, which means we will destroy that building which has more number of floors first. Okay, and then we will go for the other direction. Okay, so that's it. That is the logic. But how do we get this? Like, what is happening here? Exactly. Here we are getting the prefix sum. Here we are getting the prefix sum as well as suffix sum. But why are we getting the prefix and suffix sum? Because at any index, if this is 0, you need to know how many buildings of floors are present on the left side. You can get that using prefix sum. And how many sum of floors of buildings you have on the right side, you can get that using suffix sum. If you call this as A and if you call this as B, you can simply do B minus A. Right? If B minus A is less than or equal to 1, then you will simply increment count by 1. Right? But is it only count by 1? Is it only count by 1? No, right? Because if you see the second test case, this test case, if you throw on the right side, it is working. If you are throwing on the left side, it is working. Why it is working? What is the prefix sum here? 2, followed by 0. What is the suffix sum? 2. So in which direction you start, you will always gonna destroy all the buildings at the end of the day, right? So if you consider this as A, if you consider this as B, if A is equal to B, then you will increment the count by 2, right? If A is not equal to B, which means if the difference is less than or equal to 1, then you are simply gonna increment the count by 1. Okay, I mean, you don't need to do less than or equal to. If it is equal to 1, you are simply going to increment the count by 1. That's it. That is the overall logic of this question. So we have prefix and now let us write the code. So I have opened so this is the question, like, so this is the question, bouncing ball. So let us write the code here. So what is the first input? I have to simply take the number of test cases, right? So cin test cases, while for each test case, what I will do is I will simply take the n value, cin n value, and then int array of size n, and I'm going to simply take the input for loop I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, cin array of I. Okay, now I need prefix sum and suffix sum, which means I need to declare 2 arrays, right? So let me declare an array L maxi, which means nothing but left maximum sum n value, and then R maxi sum, or L maxi. Now, not left maximum sum, I just used as L maxi. Or let me go with some default values. Prefix of n, comma, suffix of n. Fine. Now you need to simply put some default values, which is 0 values in the given array, which is nothing but prefix, comma, 0, comma, size of prefix. Right? You need to do the same thing for suffix as well. Suffix. Okay. Now, if you see here, initially we have only one building, right? Which means what will be the sum at this prefix of 0? Only one. What about the sum that will be here at suffix of 0, suffix of n minus 1? 1, right? So this is simply going to be prefix of 0 is equal to array of 0. Okay, now I am going to iterate from I equal to 1 till I less than n, and then I plus plus. Okay, Now prefix of I is equal to prefix of I minus 1 plus array of I. And the same thing for suffix. Okay, here it should be comma. Suffix of n minus 1 is equal to array of n minus 1. Okay. Now I need to simply iterate from I equal to n minus 2, I greater than or equal to 0, I decrement. Now suffix of I is equal to suffix of I plus 1 plus array of I, suffix of I plus 1 plus array. Now I need to store the result in a variable, right? Let me call it as int result is equal to 0. Now I will simply iterate on each of the building. For loop int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So if array of I is equal to 0, then only I will get the prefix and as well as suffix. Because if it is not a playground, then how I am going to throw the ball, right? I can only throw the ball in the playground. If array of I is equal to 0, what is the condition? If left sum is equal to right sum, then I am going to increment the count by 2. Because either way, if I decide to throw, I am going to destroy all the buildings at the end of the day. So here it should be prefix of I minus 1, sorry, prefix of I is equal to suffix of I. If this is true, then I am going to simply increment my count by 2. Else, if this is not true, if both of them are different, then I am going to simply get the difference, which is prefix of I minus suffix of I. If it is less than, not less than, it is equal to 1, then I am going to increment the count by only one position, and here I am going to simply print the result. Yep, that's it. Let me run the code. Double T. Our question got submitted. Our solution got submitted. Yeah, guys. So these are the problems that I want to discuss with you. I hope you like it. And if you want to learn in detail about these topics, you can join our 3 months Smart Coder course. I will drop you the link in the description. You can visit over there.